Everybody, how are you? It's Wendy, and it's a little bit of a cloudy day, but we have fabulous 2 days of weather, and it's still going to be a nice warm weather today. So hopefully you're enjoying your February thus far, and we want to talk about sellers and how to get your market ready or your home market ready. So things that we want to definitely look at, it's always about presentation is very key, and then secondary becomes marketing for your property. So what are some of the things that we definitely need to look at? We really need to look at from the inside and the outside. So from the outside, we definitely want to look at the roof, making sure that there are no issues with the roof, which then leads itself into the inside, making sure that there are no brown spots on the ceiling, and so that would indicate to buyers that it is an issue with the roof. So definitely look with a keen eye, and what we also do recommend is you can always contact the inspector. That perhaps when you bought your home, you can contact the inspector and have them come back out and take a look at doing what they call a pre-listing inspection, so that you can definitely get an understanding of what could potentially be wrong with the home, and then that allows you to gain leverage as far as when your property is put on the market and the buyers are looking with their agents, that you are going to be in full control of your listing and your sale, so that you again have a working list of the things that may be wrong with the property. Then at that point you can decide from there, given your return on investment, are you going to be making any return, which I'm sure with the market as active as it's been the last couple of years, you definitely should be appreciating some nice return. And if it's something that you're interested in, of course, step one would be between the realtor and yourself as a seller. We would be coming in to take a look and then providing you a comparative market analysis of comparing your home and what's been sold in your neighborhood within the last 3 and maybe 6 months, so that we can understand how to price your property aggressively to get it property sold. We are definitely in a seller's market right now, so we want to make sure that again you put your property in pristine condition so that you can be poised to take advantage of the market. Interest rates are going up, so right now we're going to get the fact that the market is going to be still active. We definitely are seeing an uptick in the market activity as the weather has gotten warmer, but we definitely want to look at the fact that how to help maximize your maximum return for your property. The last couple of deals I got that sold last year, we actually had sold the property for more than what the list price is. So that's a very exciting time for those clients. Now, as far as pricing goes, that's a very precise science as far as we looking at the properties in comparison to what you offered compared to what other homes have offered in the past. So let's look at those. A lot of times sellers, I love you guys, but we definitely need to look at real numbers. It's not about the value that you bring in terms of memories. We definitely have to look at hard facts, because at the end of the day, even if a buyer is willing to pay your price, the other actual reality we have to take in consideration is the appraisal when the buyer's bank comes in and does an appraisal on the property, and then at that time they are going to look at harder numbers as well. And unfortunately, there have been many incidences where the appraisers have put a big monkey wrench in the process, and then at that time we as agents try to contest the evaluation, but unfortunately a lot of times the evaluation does not come it doesn't get changed, because the appraisal management company holds firm with their position, even though the comps are clearly supporting it. At that point, the seller does have the option to decide to cancel the contract, but we can talk more about that later. But getting the home seller ready, market ready, we look at the roof, we look at the exterior, we also look at, landscaping is very key. Let's look at making sure that you are pulling the leaves out gutters so that it looks more presentable. Power wash your home and make sure that it's brightened up with the look. If it's aluminum siding, then get some form of cleaning solution that will help remove the dirt, again expose the natural beauty of your home, and make sure that the landscaping is tight. Now if you're putting the property in the market in the dead heat of winter, or understand that it's not going to be picture ready, but perhaps as if it's something you are definitely thinking about taking advantage of selling the property in the near future, at this time in the spring as the flowers start to bud and the green grass starts to get greener, we want to definitely take advantage of taking some pictures. So take a couple of pictures from different angles of your home, front door, back door, side angle. If you have got a corner home, definitely take a side angle so that you can definitely capitalize and show the home from different angles. Little knickknacks on your doors are great. I love the opportunity to, if you could paint your door. Red is very good luck in our culture, and so if you can do a red door, that's awesome. I've seen some blue doors and also green doors, but you want to keep it the normal white, that's fine. If there's decoration, that's great. Now once we get inside the home, definitely we want to identify some things that we want to make sure that you definitely take a look at. Removing all personal belongings like magnets, refrigerator, paper off the refrigerator, pictures around the home, frames. You want people to focus on the home and what the home has to offer, but not the other additional knickknacks and trinkets that people can unfortunately get distracted with. So we definitely want to declutter. We want to put things outside of the house, in the garage, or even if you can possibly put it in storage, or even if you have a shed, that's even better, because we don't want to put them in closets. Shove them in the closet before closing, before showings does not work either, because you don't want to definitely have somebody open up the closet and they see it's stuffed to the gills and they think maybe it's a small closet because they didn't get a chance to really fully assess the closet space as well. So we want to declutter. We want to make sure to take out all papers and magazines away, put books where they are normally belong on a bookshelf. Magazines, just maybe one or two to put, dress up the table. Nice flower arrangement are great. Nice smelling home is very important as well. We want to make sure it's nice and fresh. I definitely encourage people to use fresh flowers or essential oils. I'm not a fan of the aerosol sprays because that's really chemical and we don't want that. But if that's something that you have available and you don't have accessibility to essential oils, that's fine, but you can easily buy essential oils from the grocery store. Lemon is great, orange, and you can put it in a pot and simmer it with some water and let it brew, and the natural smells and natural oils will make the room smell very pretty and yummy. So those are definitely tips and ideas to help. Definitely you want to repaint the property. You definitely don't want a home to not have great presentation as far as clean lines with your paint. Make sure light bulbs, light bulbs that are out, replace those with one that work. Light covers, make sure you just have somebody come in and clean the baseboards, the fans. All those things are, at the end of the day, they do help contribute to the overall awe and experience the property, because at the end of the day you want people to look at the property and experience living in this home. Let's not make it a viewing, let's make it an experience. So if you have perhaps an interest in knowing you have some showings, you can offer a plate of candy. I had that one time, that was great. If you have music, turn your TV on, and the cable offers those music stations. You can leave the TV on and have some nice jazz music playing. Nothing too hard, something very easy and calm. If you're home and you can allow for a showing, you're going to leave the home right before the showing, feel free to do candles. Candles are great too, and then you can always tell your agent to blow out the candles when you're done with the showing, as long as there's no more showings, or however you want to control it. You're going to come back home, that's fine. Definitely make it pleasing to the eye. Making it smell is a very important sense as well. So if like I said, a nice aroma, if you want to offer a piece of candy, or I've had one time fresh baked cookies in a home, and that was a great experience, and they left a note. You can also, if you have special things that you want people to notice, put little placards in front of the room and advise that this is what's happening. Or you can leave a nice little write up on the countertop, and you can tell people to go ahead and put those, use that to guide them through the home. We just did a home inspection on a home the other day, and come to find out, the house, we showed the property, I represented the buyer, and we saw it without an agent present. But what the agent failed to highlight, which was a great thing that they should have highlighted, in the bathroom in the lower level, the seller put a fan that's actually programmed Bluetooth, and so then you have the opportunity to experience nice music without a radio in the room, but it was all wired to your iPod or your Android. So it was really cool. So things like that you want people to highlight, want people to know. People won't know if you have an overhead sewer system, so why not emphasize that? I'm sure the listing agent will put that on the listing sheet, but you want to make sure that you reiterate things like that. If you have an overhead system, or you went ahead and replaced the roof, put the age of the mechanicals. That's very important for people to understand that what they are buying, and of course, the more things that are new, the better. But that's not mean you have to do everything new. No, not necessarily. I've seen definitely some renovations where the furnaces are not brand new. Furnaces might have been 5 years old, and unfortunately the people had foreclosed, or whatever the case is, sold their home, relocated, and that's still a brand new furnace. So do you have to replace it? No. So those things you want to definitely look into. So let's kind of make sure I've covered everything. So from the roof to the exterior to the landscaping, backyard is very important. The garage, if you can declutter the garage too, and if you have shelving systems that show that, again, you can maximize your space, that's great. From the exterior, make sure brickwork, do the perimeter, take a walk through of the perimeter of the home, and make sure that tuck pointing or any perimeter of things that need to be sealed, cracks in around the home, to prevent water seepage, because if they see that, they might fear that there's some water in the basement. Now, as far as we talk about water, and we must disclose, so that's another point. You want to make sure that you are fully honest with your disclosures. Please do not hide from certain things, because there are certain times that a seller would not disclose certain information, and that would be a big issue for you possibly down the road. I have a client right now that's dealing with some serious issues, and she's, from the day when she moved in this home, she's been experiencing some issues. To come find out, doing a little digging, she might have a case against the contractor, the owner, as well as the agent, because it was discovered that it was disclosed on the purchase when the people purchased the property. So, but then they failed to disclose it at this time. So, but disclosures and disclosing information is a very fine line. So definitely contact your agent and talk to the best of your ability, or I am here to assist you as well. So we've kind of looked through the exterior. Make sure sidewalks are in good condition, walkways, because those things are going to be flagged by FHA inspectors, appraisers, and I would say 95% of the buyers today are still going through FHA financing. So the things that FHA inspectors are looking for are safety issues. So walkways are safe, no trip hazards, there's no electrical issues, loose wires, or even something as minor as chip paint. Chip paint may not be a major thing, but it's a major thing if you look at the material, because back in the day, before 1978, a lot of the homes were painted with paint that was based with lead, and unfortunately lead has been caused to cause issues with people's respiratory systems, and so we want to make sure that we want to address those issues. Something as simple as chipped paint, just have a contractor or even yourself take some sandpaper, smooth it out, look around the window frames, look around the door frames of the garage, all those things. Those will be definitely tagged and flagged by an inspector during the FHA appraisal, and so you want to make sure that those things are taken care of. As far as the interior, again, decluttering, offering a positive experience, no clutter, great smell, great looks, nice and bright. Music is great, and like I said, a nice write-up of contributing to what is in this home, what kind of repairs you've done over the years. A buyer will truly appreciate a seller who has well maintained their home throughout the year. I had a client who every year makes a list of small projects that she does, so that when it comes time when you when you get ready to sell your home and buy another home of your own, you are taking that opportunity where you now improve the home over time, as opposed to boom, you decide to sell your house a year later, and now you're running out of money because you have to do all these projects, and then now it costs you money, and then you might have to wait to sell your home because you want to have a nice down payment for your selling of your home. But we can definitely look at different things. I worked with different clients where even they're selling their parents' home are a little outdated, making some minor suggestions on improving the look so that we can maximize your return to help add to their sellers, or their parents, retired fund. So, interior, exterior, yard, garage, all those things. Attic is very important as well. There was one time attic, we had a disaster where the seller failed to tell us that the attic pull-down door wasn't working all that well, and then it caused just a little bit of a havoc or frustration between seller and agent and inspector. But we got that all resolved. Everything is resolvable. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's a lot of tips. I can provide you a list, as if you're a seller looking to sell. I can provide you a list of the different things that we recommend for you to take care of prior to listing the property. So then once we have the home in proper condition, get the proper paperwork completed, we can definitely get hiring a photographer to take pictures, or if you have some great photos that you use once upon a time, we can use those as well. So with all that being said, one thing I forgot to mention is definitely the basement. Definitely keep in mind with the basement, no issues with flooding. Naturally people are going to see when there's a humidifier in the basement, there might be a chance there might have been some water seepage, and you're trying to pull moisture out. But I've had clients who've also had a humidifier in the house throughout the time she lived there. It is not because there's water, but it was just an extra precaution measure. So those things you want to keep in mind. Basements are very key. One time I had a client listing, and the stairs going down, it was very narrow. So maybe if there's a way we can help to expand the width of the basement, that would help, but not very important, not a deal breaker, or it shouldn't be a deal breaker. We can always look at making those changes later on, or providing a credit. That's basically about it. Making sure that your mechanicals are updated, having your HVAC serviced, meaning your heating and cooling, and so that maintain those mechanicals, because maintaining your mechanicals are very important to the longevity of those mechanicals. So mechanicals, what are they? Windows, make sure that they are properly sealed, furnace, your roof. If you have siding, make sure you take care of the siding. Insulate your home, and that's really great in terms of helping you with your energy bills. But lots of things that we can definitely cover. We could talk about it for a while. I wanted to highlight some of the things to keep in mind. So with all that being said, I'm always here for you. Thanks so much for always following me every week. Please do share my video and my information so that other people can take advantage of this information, so that they can get their home in market ready condition. With all that being said, happy Wealthy Wisdom Wednesday. It is Wendy Lee, and I am signing off, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Take care.